Hi, welcome to my totally legit K-pop news show. My name is Angelina, your favorite K-pop boomer, accredited K-pop journalist from the University of YG's Dungeon. And today we're going to talk about Ateez Jongho's knee injury, more WayV Lucas updates, BTS's much despised Billboard interview, and so much more. So if you're interested in these subjects, or maybe just one or two, I've separated this video into super fancy segments, so please feel free to skip through. I know that my face may still be on hiatus, but my heart is still with you. Let's get some updates on the WayV Lucas situation. So since our last update video, we now have a total of 5 people who have come forward with their alleged experiences. Lucas is of course still on hiatus and is said to be reflecting on his past actions. However, some of his fan clubs have since closed in light of the situation. On top of that, it does seem that the original person who came forward created a type of snowball effect, since his alleged ex-girlfriends seemingly weren't aware that he was potentially seeing them all at the same time and felt hurt about that. We also had an update from said original poster who gave more details, which included serious allegations. Now, I can't exactly express them in detail, but it certainly changed a lot of people's minds towards the situation in general. Now, with these newer allegations, SM has not given any update, but it does seem there has been a shift in public perception at least. People have started realizing that the evidence to debunk this can mostly be debunked itself. For example, people were saying that the OP claimed to have bought the ring in the photo that she shared, but it was actually Winwin who bought that ring for him. The misinformation in this is that she never actually claimed that she bought the ring for him. In fact, if you read the messages, Lucas himself says Winwin bought it, but she never claimed that she bought it for him. As for the bubble messages that people are saying were taken to be put as evidence for the voice message included in the first poster's claim, the simple fact is the voice memos are not the same. We do have people saying that the reflection in the wine glass in this particular photo is of a man, that the pillow in this photo actually comes from WayV's dorm, and there are other detailed descriptions that can't necessarily be proven true or false. However, the only things we do really know is that people have come forward and that SM and Lucas himself have given statements about this. But it is interesting to note that between now and the last video I made, there has been a shift again in public perception. As most people were defending him initially, now we see a lot more people upset with the situation, with people even wanting him out of WayV, out of NCT, especially in light with the newer claims. This does bring up a very interesting question because I've seen plenty of articles talking about the Cyberspace Administration of China cracking down on mindless idol worshipping. And this is seemingly in light of Chris Wu and his accusations as well. Now, this is just a discussion, so don't come for me for the lack of details, but I really did want to talk about this briefly. Hypothetically, if an external source was banning celebrity rankings or holding fan sites to higher standards, which would consequently make the fans within those fandoms act a little bit nicer, what would you think of that? Because blindly defending people is not as selfless as it seems. There are a lot of things done towards other people in the name of defending idols, and that's definitely harmful. It's also harmful if you're coming forward with an experience and you're getting, H-worded. If toxic fandoms are truly getting out of hand, especially in situations like this, what measures would you personally like to see across social media sites to help improve the atmosphere that might potentially lead to such behavior? I think this would make a really interesting conversation, so let me know in the comments below. So, in Ateez news, we have KQ Entertainment who has announced that Jongho has injured his knee. In a statement, they say, recently Jongho has been feeling discomfort around his knee and visited the hospital, and he was diagnosed with a minor knee cartilage injury. They go on to say that although it's a minor injury, he's been refraining from intense choreography, especially since his previous ankle injury, and that he's been participating in a limited capacity for the new album choreography. Therefore, he won't be participating in choreography at the Japan Online Live event that will be starting from today. Jongho is recovering well, and this is to ensure his participation on stage and activities for the new album Zero Fever Part 3. We ask for your understanding and we will do our best for his quick recovery. So for those who don't know, in February of last year, he suffered a pretty serious injury to his ankle, so let us hope for a very speedy recovery. Let's now move on to a little segment that I like to call Kpop Shenanigans, which is basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently. In every single news video I've uploaded, I have always missed a Lisa solo update. I've uploaded my video and then Lisa posts a teaser or something and I'm like, damn it, I missed it. It's like clockwork, but yes, her solo has officially been confirmed for September 10th. And we even have teasers, but most notably, I wanted to talk about her albums because they look fancy as hell. This gold version looks like an expensive perfume, like that 1 million gold bar. It reminds me of that. I just wanted to point that out. We also have fans that have pointed out that the lightning that you can see in the teaser ends up forming the borders of Thailand, Lisa's home country, which I thought was pretty cool. We also have Ateez consistently releasing teaser pictures for their comeback as well. How exciting! Which is low-key the only thing getting me through this month. Megan Thee Stallion featured on a remix of Butter by BTS. Ace released teaser pictures for their second repackaged album, Change Your Dear Elris, which is set to be released September 2nd. And Fromis 9 released teaser images for their single album, Talk Talk, set to be released September 1st. So now let's end off with BTS versus Billboard because they have been in the news after they themselves released an interview where the fandom feel they have asked inappropriate questions towards BTS. They did indeed ask BTS about their fans finding loopholes and manipulating charts, even going as far as asking the president of Big Hit Music if they themselves fund fans to manipulate charts. So let's summarize this particular part of the interview that fans are so upset about. Billboard start off this segment by explaining how virtually all major pop stars rely on a loyal fandom to unite and buy and stream their latest releases. However, they claim that ARMY have taken this to another level, which RM says is a result of a struggle that he does not want to overlook, as fans do whatever it takes for their faves to stay on top. But they bring these methods into question and they say that ARMY exploit loopholes, even Billboard's own loopholes. For Billboard, they only allow people to buy a certain number of versions of a song per week, but they point out that BTS typically releases multiple versions of a particular single that can add up per consumer, Butter having 6 digital versions and 2 physical singles. They say that other singles rely mostly on streaming, then airplay, then sales. But in contrast, Butter was propelled mostly by sales, explaining that the bulk of those sales stemmed from BTS's own web store. Quote, says sources familiar with the matter, who also said that it differs from iTunes in the sense that there is no limit on how many copies someone can own. So they do acknowledge that other fandoms have tried similar tactics, right? But they also say that these fandoms have never succeeded like ARMYs have, and thusly these other fandoms are kind of accusing ARMYs of somewhat cheating. They give the example of Olivia Rodrigo's song being at number 2 and Butter falling 6 spots to number 7, but how the next week Butter returns to the number 1 spot through what some fans were claiming was manipulating charts, since BTS had zero general public support, which according to some fans would actually constitute a real smash. And with BTS's weaker streaming numbers and radio airplay, they have some questions. They call ARMY's efforts legendary and explain that they do bulk purchases and use PayPal to pool money from fans around the world to make purchases that will count in the US. They say some organizers offer reimbursements for those purchases, but Billboard don't know where the source of those funds come from. Billboard expresses that they would not allow sales funded by an act or its label or management to count towards chart performances. They then insert RM's response, and he says it's a fair question, but if there is a conversation inside Billboard about what being number 1 should represent, then it's up to them to change the rules and make streaming weigh more on the ranking. Slamming us for our fans for getting to number 1 with the physical sales and downloads? I don't know if that's right. It just feels like we're easy targets because we're a boy band and a K-pop act, and we have this high fan loyalty. Billboard again also asked the president of Big Hit Music if they organized fans in chart manipulation, to which he chuckled and said, wouldn't it be nice if we actually had the ability to mastermind such a thing? Claiming that there are market developments related to BTS that are head scratchers for some people, but I don't believe the US market is one that can be handily topped by downloads alone. We think the song's impact was shown in many ways and we are proud of the achievement. Ending more or less the segment by claiming HYBE appears to be doing its best to keep BTS fandom close, which is maybe another thing to tackle, but mostly fans are upset at Billboard putting emphasis on ARMY. So it's curious to a lot of people why BTS are being accused of manipulating charts, that their fans are accused of manipulating these charts when Western artists aren't questioned at that capacity. For example, Justin Bieber practically begging fans to get his song to number 1, telling them to use VPNs and so on. So of course fans are very angry at Billboard for this, saying it's inappropriate to ask BTS such a question, to even accuse them of this when Billboard is the one with the loopholes, as RM even said in his quote. It's an issue that Billboard would have to rectify internally if that's a point of discussion for them. People are also mad because they're citing fan wars, among other things, to make a point. So of course, if you go on Twitter, you will see Billboard apologize to BTS as a popular search result, and some retailers even pulling out of selling the magazines. Because what's even more curious is that Billboard, the ones who put such an emphasis on fan loyalty, didn't quite seem to take into account fan loyalty in featuring the deemed problematic questions, as they went as far as planning 8 different covers for the magazine to sell at a very hefty price point, I might add. As for why Billboard would want to put themselves in this situation, I have no idea. It's like they understand K-pop to an extent, but not enough. It's like they're literally talking about fans' dedication in this without understanding fans' dedication. I don't know. So I would love to know what you think of this. Let me know your point of view in the comments down below. But that is basically it for this video. Thank you so much if you made it this far. If you made it this far without skipping, leave a leaf emoji in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis by being a channel member or a Patreon or a patron. Patreon? As for me, I'm gonna get going, but I will see you guys next time.